Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Merg Mayhem, where one take can cause mayhem. Hope everyone is having a good day. I did not upload / record an episode for Tuesday / Wednesday. Tuesday, I was editing Mondays, and then unfortunately I had to release on Tuesday, and yesterday I did not sleep well, so I did not record any. Plus, I was watching basketball games and working as well, so it just wasn't a good day, and had just thought about sleeping just for good health. But today I'm going to be talking about NBA recap, what's going on in some other sports news, and I'm making top 5, top 10 Tuesday for Friday, for tomorrow, and I will go into that on Friday. And today, for Wednesday, I came up with a new theme. It's going to be what would you like me to talk about on Wednesday? Where in the comments you can put what type of sport, what type of news, or what topic you would like for me to talk about on Wednesday, and that will be for next week. If I get any, and if I don't, then I'll do weird in a substitute. If I don't get any comments, then I'll do Wacky Wednesday, where I'll give out a stat that seems actually fake, but it's legit. And then today, obviously, Throwback Thursday with some sports history and potential other history as well. So we're going to get started. We're going to talk about NBA playoffs first. For Tuesday and Wednesday. Today, the Philadelphia 76ers and Knicks play, and the Bucks and Pacers play as well tonight. As of this recording, I recorded this episode earlier, but the audio cut out for some reason. So it is, as of now, it's about 5:36, 5:35 when I started. So yeah, but we're going to go into the 76ers and New York Knicks that played on Tuesday. I wasn't able to, oh my gosh, what is going on here? Love that. Anyways, this is the score of 112-106. It was a hard fought game. It was a really good game. It did go into overtime, and Tyrese Maxey just took the game over going into the fourth quarter and during the last few minutes of the game as well. So Tobias Harris showed out. They need about 15 to 20 from him every game. Kelly Oubre Jr. has been playing his butt off in this series, guarding Jalen Brunson and being that defensive anchor for him. Kyle Lowry was really a big factor in this game. He did get some steals and facilitate a little bit, but Joel Embiid, 19, 16, and 10. I mean, he's not even himself, and he's putting up these numbers. And then Max, you see this 40, almost 50 piece in here. And then, with the Knicks, Brunson had 40. Hart missed 2 free throws that probably would have won him the game. A lot of people are putting a lot of blame on him, but at the same time, basketball is a game of runs, and you could have also blamed Mitchell Robinson on that foul against on Maxey with that jump. Now, I do know that there is some type of rule where you can't jump into the defender anymore. They have to come into you to draw the foul. Now, it did look a little like he did come into him, but at the same time, Maxey did jump into him as well to create the contact. So I'm not really sure about that rule. I don't really understand how they're supposed to distinguish what contact is what, but no less, it was a foul. And then what should have happened was Maxey hit a basically half court 3 when they probably could have fouled, and she could have shot 2 free throws, and then Philly would have to foul to send one of these guys back to the free throw line. But this series has been very, very interesting. If you go look at the team stats here, New York had an off night from 3. It was a pretty even called game as far as the free throw discrepancy. A lot of times you can see one being lopsided than the other. Philly did out rebound New York. Not really surprised by that. And As far as turnovers, I mean, they both turn the ball or just about the same, so you can't really say one lost it because of turnovers, but there could have been some timely turnovers, especially in overtime, where Jalen Brunson tried to do that jump pass that probably wasn't the smartest thing, but they're still winning 3-2. They go to Philly tonight. Hopefully they can close it out. If not, it'll be Game 7 back in Madison Square Garden. But yeah, this game was hard fought battle, and it just shows that both teams don't have any quit in them, and yeah, apparently only two guys. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if they need scoring, they should bring Alec Burks off the bench here. Bogdanovich didn't even play. I just, I don't understand the rotations that Tom Thibodeau does. I mean, you have Brunson playing 50, 50, 50. I don't know. I mean, Philly only played 3 guys as well, but I don't know. It is what it is. We're going to go to the Cavaliers game now. Cavaliers. This game I did not really watch, so I can't really say what caused them to lose the game, what didn't lose them the game. I do know that stupid fly. I do know that Banchero played his butt off, scored the ball efficiently, and he scored it pretty well as too. I do know that Franz Wagner did not shoot the ball well either. It was just basically a Paolo Banchero night. The bench did play well for Orlando, over 25 points off the bench from a multitude of guys. Jonathan Isaac, 7. Markelle Fultz was 7. Ingles and Mo Wagner. Ingles had 6 and Mo Wagner had 8. So it was a hard-fought game, and then Evan Mobley, who I think is one of the most underrated defenders and most underrated players in the NBA since he's come in. He had a clutch block in the fourth, and he had the game-winning basket from Darius Garland. Mobley 14 and 13 with 2 blocks, 2 steals. Donovan Mitchell had 28, almost 30. Didn't shoot the ball well from 3, but was able to make it up at the free throw line. And Darius Garland scored 23, and Max Strus made 40% of his threes last night. And Marcus Morris, who was a really good pickup for Cleveland because they need some more bench scoring. I know Karis LeVert is normally their guy that comes off the bench and scores, but Karis LeVert only shot the ball 3 times, and Marcus Morris had it going off the bench, and he gave him 12. So they go back to Orlando tomorrow. So hopefully Cleveland can shut it out. But the past 2 games, Orlando has just dominated them at home. So it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow. It's going to be on ESPN. Both games are ESPN Cleveland and Orlando, and then Mavs and Clippers on ESPN. And then tonight, Pacers and the Philly game are on TNT tonight. So the last game that I think that was on Tuesday was the Bucks and Pacers. This game I did not enjoy watching at all. Going into the fourth quarter, it was almost a blowout, and I just wanted to see if there was going to be any contest from Philly, if they were going to make it close to 10 points. But it was pretty much a blowout going into the fourth quarter. Tyrese Halliburton, 16 and 6 assists. Milwaukee just had it going. Milwaukee had it going from 3. They had it going from 2 as well. And they made all but 4 free throws, 80% from the line. So Portis had some good buckets in the paint. Didn't turn the ball over. They did, but less than Indiana. And they out-rebounded and won the points in the paint battle. and this was without Giannis and Damian Lillard, by the way. Tonight there is a shot. I'm trying to, every time I go to that that thing, the game's going, but I'm just gonna just do this. Hopefully it works out. But yeah, this is without Damian Lillard and Giannis. So and then Middleton had 29. Portis had 29. And Lopez had 12, and everybody just contributed. Malik Beasley was on fire from 3 last night. He had 18, and the bench of Indiana played well, but they didn't get it rolling till late. So, but yeah, that was that game. Indiana is playing tonight at Indiana, so there is a chance for them to close the series out tonight. If not, it'll be Saturday, most likely on ABC/ESPN, which one of those two. Yesterday's game, Wednesday, the Miami in Boston and Clippers and Mavs played. I didn't watch Boston just because I was working, and to be honest, I had zero... I didn't really want to watch it because once I knew that Jaime Jaquez was reported injured, and Jimmy Butler wasn't playing. I mean, I just knew there wasn't going to be any shot, and Miami was injured the whole series. Terry Rozier had an injured neck. Josh Richardson has been gone since March. Jimmy Butler, and then Jaime Jaquez. I mean, all those guys are contributors, and it was not good. And plus I saw a little bit of the game in the break room and stuff, and it was just a flat out blowout. Derek White is coming off a game where he scored almost 40, probably the best game he's ever played in his life, and in this game he scored 25, and Jaylen Brown scored 25, and Tatum didn't even have to score. Tatum scored 16. He had 12 rebounds. That was his game. He played 30 minutes, and then the bench just took over, and it was just flat out domination by Boston to a team that shouldn't have been close in this game, and they weren't. They were outscored every quarter. So yeah, that was that game. Miami is going to Cancun, and so unfortunately that they are going to be on vacation. But the last game we're going to cover here is the Dallas Mavericks and Clipper game. I actually recorded this, and I was able to watch it in totality. The first half was awesome, and not only was Derek Jones Jr. playing incredibly tough defense on Paul George, PJ Washington was playing good defense, Kyrie Irving, Daniel Gafford. I mean, everybody was playing well on both sides. And then going in the third quarter and second half, like, James Harden was nowhere to be found. Paul George didn't have it going. And I mean, both teams to an extent from three. At some, like, the Clippers wasn't able to make any threes last night, which I don't know if it's just a bad night, but I mean, Luka only went 2 for 8, so he didn't really shoot the ball too great. I mean, he scored 35. That was coming off of just mid-range jump shots and layups, finding his way into the paint. But I mean, going into the third quarter and the fourth quarters, this game was absolutely atrocious. Paul George only scored 15. And there was a stat that I was watching Inside the NBA last night, and there was a stat where, like, in Game 4, the Clippers won. Paul George and Harden combined for like 63 or 66 points or something. And in this game, they combined for 22. Like, that in itself can't happen. This was a must-win game for the Clippers because now they're going to Dallas tomorrow, and Kawhi is supposedly not supposed to be playing. He didn't play in last night's game because of knee inflammation. And Terrence Mann now, and Kawhi Leonard has been ruled out for tomorrow. So Terrence Mann, he suffered a right leg contusion. I remember on the play where it looked like it was knee to knee. They call it an offensive foul, which it wasn't, but yeah, he is now questionable. So, but yeah, I mean, this game was absolutely atrocious. I do want to say that the Dallas Mavericks, just on the hustle plays, you could just watch and see that they were just more into the game. They wanted to win and to close out the series at home if possible. If you look at the team stats here, free throws, it was pretty much evenly called. Turnovers, the Clippers turned the ball over a little bit more. Dallas got out rebounded, but they won the points in the paint. 30, as you can see, 32 is the most, and then the lead that the Clippers had, the largest lead for them was 2 points. So it was, and they led in points every single quarter. So I really don't know what to make of this series. Other than Kawhi is going to probably not play the rest of the series. They're probably going to lose tomorrow, which I hope they don't, because I want to see Kawhi actually play in the playoffs. But yeah, Kawhi might not play. The Dallas Mavericks could win, and we see Kawhi Leonard on the Team USA and not in the NBA Finals. So yeah, that is all of the NBA recap. There's not really as much to say with some of these games. Sorry if you saw some of the scores up there, but yeah, there's just nothing to say about this game, and really all of them except for the Philly game. But other than that, that was pretty much it. We're gonna talk about baseball now. This is kind of old news, but just in case if you've been living underneath a rock, if you're a baseball fan, Jackson Holliday, who is the number one prospect in baseball, son of Matt Holliday, which I think could be an MLB Hall of Famer. He's definitely going to be in the Cardinals Hall of Fame. But Jackson Holliday, 20 years old. I'm going to say that a lot. He is 20 years old. Okay. This guy, Colt Keith, is a few years older. I'm going to mention him, talking about Holliday here. Jackson Holliday had a great spring training. Last year. He played a few games in AAA, hit 267 in 23. He played all four levels: A, high A, double A, single A, or AAA, whatever. Had a small sample size in AAA, but you can see that he hits the ball. He can put good bat on the ball. He, in totality up here, he stole 24 backs last year. Caught stealing 9 times. It's pretty good. And you see that there's, in AAA, he had 2 home runs, 16 walks. In AAA, he had 17 strikeouts. He only walked 1 less time. So he doesn't strike out a lot, and he has a great eye for the zone. He's very selective on his pitches. He knows the zone, and he's a good base runner. AAA this year, before getting called up, he played I can't remember how many games he played, but he was hitting well above this average. He did play on April 30th. So give or take a few games. He's hitting 300 in AAA right now. He got called up, and should be up here. Yeah, this right here was his stat line when he came up to the big leagues. If it'll stop. I can't really highlight it, but this is all I could do. In one of the episodes that are on this channel, I mentioned that I feel like they brought him up too fast. I still think they brought him up too fast because we don't know what he can do with a full year of AAA. He's been basically climbing the ranks so fast where he's not able to just stay in one spot and to see what he can do in a year. And the reason why I showed you Colt Keith earlier is because in the minors, he dealt with injuries every year since 21. It seemed like he was hurt. 2022, he only played 48 games due to injury, but you see that he hit 300, right? Last year, he started off in AA, 325, played half the season in AA. Then he played half the year in AAA. Still about the same numbers as far as home runs, doubles, hits, and everything like that. You see that on the number of games played here. He got to see quality, basically MLB pitching in AAA for about 70 games. So you can at least see okay, hey, he dominated AA, and now let's see what he does in AAA. Let's see how he can see with arms and with velocity and quality and MLB pitching. And he still produced. Average went down a little bit, and the on-base percentage went down, and everything else went down a little bit. But basically, he's the same. He was the same hitter. In Jackson Holliday's case, you see that there's not a lot of games played here. Yes, was he rolling? Was he on a roll? Most likely, and that's why he was still able to climb the ladder so fast. But you don't see he never was in one spot for a significant amount of time. Single high A was it 57 games, and he probably should have been up faster in AAA, but at least I feel like he should have had more time in AAA to see more arms, to see if he is ready. And you see that in the majors, he had the worst start in 30 or 40 years, and he's 2 for 34. He did there was one game where he did score he went from first to third, and he is an aggressive ball player, really good base runner, like I mentioned earlier, but I do think that he was brought up too fast. But that's just me. I know a lot of Orioles fans were like, well, he should have been starting during the season and start of opening day. I don't think so. Because this could have been opening day, and then you're like, oh my gosh, he sucks. Why'd we bring him up? Type of thing. So, that's why I wanted to show you his stats if you didn't already know. He does, and then as soon as he went down to AAA, he had 3 hits. I don't know, but we'll see. He'll probably get called back up soon. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be called up. Probably toward after All-Star break, I feel like, but we'll see what happens. Another guy that was also sent down, Jose Abreu. Now, Jose Abreu, I mentioned on this platform before, I'm pretty sure. If not, here's Jose Abreu. Jose Abreu has been one of the most underrated first basemen in the entire MLB since he's come in 2014. Now, is he 300 hitter all the time? No, but he's been one of the most consistent players that this game has had in the past 10 years. This year, unfortunately, he has been having the worst year of his career, at least the start of the career of this season. He did win MVP in 2020 in that bubble. He won Rookie of the Year, 3-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, and one of the player in TSN Major League Player of the Year. I don't really know what that is, but this year he's hitting 99, which is not good. Especially with this guy here. This guy has basically hit about 270, 285 every year. And I don't know if it's because of him getting older, because he is about 37. And then his last year with the White Sox, he played basically every game, and he hit 304, 75 RBIs, 15 homers. The power numbers were down, and and last year, even in 2023, his first year with the Astros, he had 18 homers, 90 RBIs, and OPS was a little bit down, but if you have a guy that's driving in 90 to 100 RBIs, you're gonna find a spot on a team. That's just what's just gonna happen. And even in the bubble, he played every game, 60 games, and he had 60 RBIs. Like, it's averaging an RBI every game, which is insane. But yeah, he's played 22 games so far. Struck out 18 times of his 77 plate appearances and 71 at bats. I don't know if it's just age or not. Maybe it's just a confidence thing or mechanical adjustment that he's just not making. But yeah, he's being sent down. I know Alek Manoah, I think if not last year, maybe 2 years ago, dealt with the same thing. He was just getting hit off of like a pitching machine batting practice, and he went down to single A, and he was there for quite a while just for confidence. I don't know if it was mental health either. I'm not really sure, but I don't even know where Alek Manoah is at right now. So hopefully he's back in the league somewhere. If he's with the Blue Jays organization still, hopefully. But yeah, I do know that he was down there for quite a while, and yeah, so but yeah, so that is all for him. The last player I'm going to mention is one of the greatest players of all time. This just happened earlier this week. Mike Trout is gone for a good bit of time. He tore his meniscus somehow. I mean, he was talking on an interview that I saw on ESPN.com saying that he was running back to the dugout from after the end of an inning, and then he felt something and he felt discomfort, and then he got on base that next inning, scored from second. He said everything was fine. He didn't know what was going on. He then sits down in the dugout, and he, tries to get up, and he started to feel pain in his knee. And then, that night, he was saying that he couldn't sleep and yada, yada, yada. And he got an MRI. Turns out it was his meniscus. So unfortunately, he's gone for a good amount of time. It didn't say it was season ending. It didn't say anything like that, but most likely the Angels might tell him just to sit out. And it's just unfortunate because it's just another season and another year where we don't see Mike Trout play. He was on pace to hit 60 homers. He's tied as of now with Gunnar Henderson for the MLB lead in 10 home runs. So, you see some of his accolades here: Rookie of the Year, Silver Slugger, 9 times, 11-time All-Star, 3-time regular season MVP, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, and Wilson overall Defensive Player of the Year, and TSN MLB Major League Player of the Year. So, and if you see another tab with these two, as of now, hopefully he comes back and plays. But as of now, he's a 299 hitter. That wasn't the case last year. Last year, he was still hitting for his career over 300. Pujols went through something similar. Pujols is now a 296 career hitter. Before the shift, Pujols was a 300, about 310 hitter. And because of the shift, it brought him down significantly. And in the last 3 years of Pujols' career, it dropped to 299, 298, 297, 296. Hopefully, and most of his issues, Mike Trout's, is injury. Because 2012, 300, 287, okay, 299, 315, 306, consistent 300 to 290, 280 every year. Last year, he played 82 games. And last year, he injured his hand, didn't play the rest of the year. 2022 was the last healthy year. He hit 283, 40 homers, and in that year in 2022, he was there was one record where he played the least amount of games to hit 40 homers. And 119 hit 40, and he plays on a terrible team, so he's not going to get a lot of 100 RBI seasons. So he had 80 RBIs in an injured season, 40 homers, almost 1,000 OPS. And it's just he's probably the modern day or my generation of what Ken Griffey Jr. was. And Ken Griffey Jr. definitely could have broken the home run record if he didn't get hurt. And Ken Griffey Jr., 284 hitter, just his body didn't hold up, and this is what Trout is. This is my version of what Ken Griffey Jr. is. It's unfortunate. And I feel like this is the best center fielder and basically, I think this is the best player of all time. In my opinion, I know a lot of people say Barry Bonds, but he cheated. It's evident that he cheated. Everyone knows that he did. I know you still have to hit the ball and everything like that, but I don't think that Barry Bonds is the best player ever. I think this guy all around is the best player of all time. And yes, he doesn't have a great arm, but he's got almost 400 home runs, almost 2,000 hits, and has been, since he's been in the league, one of the most dominant players this game has ever seen. This right here is, unfortunately, I had a better picture of it, but I couldn't find it. But this is through age 29 season here between both of them. Obviously, the averages have changed, but basically he is on par of Ken Griffey Jr. in every category except for home runs and just about. Less games played for Trout because he's been injured during his prime, unlike Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. started getting the injuries when he went to Cincinnati, I think, when he got to the age of 30. But Ken Griffey Jr. played 22 years, and I think this is Mike Trout's 13th season. So who knows if, I don't even think he's going to make it that long, to be honest with you. And then this is some of the Hall of Famers. You see Ken Griffey Jr. 284. As far as average, he has a better average. Trout has a better average than Duke Snider. This is not Billy Hamilton, the one that stole bases for Cincinnati. Better average than Andre Dawson and Max Carey, whoever that is, and he's got a better average slightly by Mickey Mantle. I know a lot of people think that Willie Mays is the best center fielder of all time. The reason why it's hard for me to compare these players basically from 2000 to the older eras is because or at least maybe 1990-ish. Because who knows if Ty Cobb can hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball? Who knows if Willie Mays can do it? Who knows if Babe Ruth? Who knows if Ted Williams? Like I've seen Mike Trout hit 100 miles an hour. I've seen Derek Jeter hit 99 miles an hour. I've seen most of these players that are in the Hall of Fame hit high velocity pitching. No one knows, how are we supposed to know if Bob Feller threw 95 because the ball beat a motorcycle through a race? How are we supposed to know that, back in that time? But that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, Mike Trout is unfortunately gone, and Kevin Pillar, who just got signed by the Angels, probably to be the center fielder, is now on the team. Great. But yeah, that is all as far as other other big MLB news. As far as recap goes, I'm going to bring up one more player, and Andy Pages, who has been doing impressive things in the minor leagues. He is a rookie. He has been called up for about a month or so now. Jason Hayward went down, and they called him up to play. Jason Hayward is normally the right fielder, but Andy Pages has been playing center for most of his time up in the big leagues. And another notable guy, as you see on the right side of my screen, or the right side of the screen, is Clayton Kershaw. He is still injured. But yeah, in the minors, before he came up, he played 15 games in AAA, and as you see, he's been absolutely insane for the Dodgers minor league affiliate. 23 hits in 15 games, about 9 extra base hits in those 15 games, hitting .371, striking out 5 more times than he's walked. Stole 2 bases, even though he probably didn't have a lot of time, a lot of attempts to run. But you see, he's been pretty much consistent with production as far as home runs. He's able to put the bat on the ball, especially in 22. He played in AA. Obviously you see 236 there, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's not good. Well, psych, that is in today's Major League Baseball. If you hit 236, drive in 80 runs, and have 29 doubles and 26 bombs, that's pretty decent. And if you have an OPS over 800, that's pretty solid. But yeah, he's been playing since he's been playing center field, and basically hitting against a lot of lefties since he's been here. But the only MLB recap we're going to do is on 2 games. This was on Monday night. On Monday, James Paxton, Tommy Henry faced off in Arizona. James Paxton has had control issues quite a bit this year in his starts. Surprisingly, this game wasn't as bad for him as it was for Tommy Henry. Tommy Henry did keep him in the game, but as you see, like in this, he only pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 in the second, and it just was, they weren't able to come back. And then in the bottom 5th, James Paxton gave up 3 in that inning, and then that was it for the Diamondbacks. Will Smith has been on a tear for this Dodger team. Ohtani got on base twice, 3 times if you count the walk. You see this off this team. Andy Pages 1 for 4, 3 RBIs, hit 8th against the lefty, and Corbin Carroll got a blue hit on Monday. He's hitting 191. Hopefully he can find a way to get it going. I've noticed that I was watching MLB Network and stuff, and there was a breakdown on him how he's not able to hit the inside pitch. Plus that injury that he had last year, that hyperextended shoulder that he had on his. I don't really think he's truly healthy enough. But he hit 8th that night against Paxton, and he's hitting less than 200. I think he's going to be fine. He's just going through a real slump right now. That was Monday, and then this was yesterday. This home run by Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery did hang some pitches. He hung a pitch. He hung a changeup to Will Smith, and this right here, this is the Andrew Pages home run. If it'll let me go back, wasn't even a bad pitch. It was below the zone, and he was able to just put a good swing on it and drive it out to left center. This is the whole 5-run second inning. And kudos to Pages for being able to use his opportunity and show what he can do. And then this was just a tough play. Yeah, he probably could have caught it, but he was on the move, and how he was, where he was catching the ball was basically at his knee. So, but yeah, Austin Barnes, it was a fastball high, basically down the middle. And Barnes just put a good swing on it, and it was a good effort by Carroll, but wasn't able to close the glove. And then here Mookie Betts with a basically down the middle fastball, because he was probably standing up on the plate, and yeah, I mean, that was most of that. And then in the third inning, Will Smith hit that bomb, and then that was pretty much it. And then for everybody, I know that in the seventh inning, Dodgers were able to score 2 more, but Corbin Carroll did get another hit, so he could be coming back. But Ketel Marte has been the most consistent all year for this Diamondback team, and I hope that it's not one of those teams where they played well last year, but this year they're not even close to what they were. And a lot of people are like, well, some people are like, well, do they just find the right time to get it going last year to help them get in the playoffs and everybody was rolling, or was it just a fluke? But the one last player I will mention, and then I'll be done with this baseball recap, is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We all know that his first start was absolutely terrible. It was one of the worst rookie debuts as far as a pitcher we have probably ever seen. But since then, he is 3-1, sub 3 ERA, 42 Ks, and a 1.09 WHIP. He is in the top 10 in strikeouts, the top 30 in ERA, and in the top 15 in record. He has found a way to settle in. It was probably just nerves for that debut, but he's been really well. He's been doing really good for this rotation. Tyler Glasnow has been the ace with Gavin Stone, who I feel like it could be in this starting rotation when everybody comes back. As you see, as far as if I can find the Dodgers team over here, I might have to. There we go. As far as injuries go, Walker Buehler still hasn't come back yet. Oh, okay. Well, I guess this is Walker Buehler, as I've reported today, will be reinstated from the 15 injured list to start Monday against the Marlins at home. So that is awesome. We can finally see Walker Buehler pitch again. He's one of my favorite pitchers to watch. Blake Trinan is coming back soon. Joe Kelly just tweaked a groin, so he's going to be out for a little bit. Jason Hayward's gone for quite a while. I don't know. It just seems like everybody's just injured right now. Bobby Miller's injured. Goodness. Dustin May, we haven't seen him pitch in 2 years. Gonsolin is gone. This Nick Frasso, who I guess he just went back to AAA because he's injured. To be honest, they don't even need all these guys with the team that they have right now. Offensively, they're carrying this team, and this guy is going to be suspended for a good amount of time. But yeah, it's kind of insane with what the Dodgers have at their disposal with the amount of injuries that they have. And I know I said I was going to talk about that was the last one, but we're bringing up Colt Keith again. Yesterday, they played against the St. Louis Cardinals. Colt Keith has been slumping. He is in a slump right now. Yesterday, he went 1 for 3. He scored the first run of the game. Here he is, right? Here's the game right here. And then this, and I think in that you see here, this is the 2-run bomb that kind of, I want to say broke the game open, but this is Matt Vierling, St. Louis native, against Miles Michaelis. My Cardinals just suck it up right now, and this home run kind of just blew it open in a way. And this isn't third inning. I say blow it open because not only did they just shut us out, but we can't score. I don't know what the Cardinals' issues are, but sorry. Well, Wilson Contreras hit a home run, big whoop, but yeah, Colt got a hit, an RBI double. His average is coming up. Hopefully that sparks something. The Cardinals are just not good. I don't know what our pitching's not there, and Kenta Maeda normally does not pitch this well. He had 6 innings, 5 Ks, and 4 hits and 1 earned. Typically, the last few starts that he's had, he's averaged about 8 runs per game. So this is just, I guess he was just lucky this game, I guess. But Cardinals need a better starting rotation. And basically, we win every time Sonny Gray pitches. So that's unfortunate. These games up here, I will talk about tomorrow or in the next episode as far as MLB games. But yeah, Colt Keith could be coming out of a slump. I hope he is. So that is that for the sports news, sports recap of both of those. NFL draft reaction / dissection is coming soon. I'm trying to see if I can get a special guest for that, or at least special guests. One of my friends or somebody that knows their football. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up with the Wednesday with what would you want me to talk about? I do want to bring up something that just came out a few days ago. There was a Batman Arkham Shadow trailer. Unfortunately, it's only on MetaQuest 3, so it's going to be VR experience. The trailer's only 50 seconds. You hear the Batman music in the back, and you see a rat, and basically Batman's following this rat. Batman comes down in an alley. It's raining, comes down, and like thousands of rats are just coming at him. So I don't know if the rat, I forgot his name. The thing is the Rat Teller, the Rat Tailor, or whatever. I don't know if he's going to be in it. I know in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, a female was that character, and it was Rat Tamer, I think that was their name. That was her name. But yeah, that's what we saw in that. We didn't see if there was a person. We just saw like thousands of rats. But yeah, Thursday, since today is Thursday, we're going to bring up some stuff that happened in sports history today. Man, Walter Johnson, who is a Hall of Fame pitcher, as you see here, 2-time MVP, 3-time Triple Crown winner as a pitcher, 5-time ERA title, and a World Series champion. You see 2.17 ERA, 417 wins, which that will never happen again. If somebody gets to 300, that is going to be Hall of Fame. Typically, I think one of the last few guys to get 300, I think, was Verlander. I'm not even really sure. But yeah, 417 wins, 279 losses, strikeouts 3,509. So, he was throwing every freaking day. There was no call. The bullpen, there was nothing. If he had Tommy John, he was pitching no matter what. But yeah. So, and it looks like he hit too. I don't know where his hitting stats are, but here they are. Look at him playing, having 97 at bats and 1925, hitting 433. But the most home runs he's had was 3 in 1914. Way to go! But apparently he leads everyone. He leads MLB history in shutouts. And in 1923, on May 2nd, he threw his 100th shutout. He threw his 100th shutout in 1923, and in that year he had 3 of them. He had 3 shutouts in that year. The most he's ever had was 11 in 1913. In 2012, Lionel Messi, who is regarded as the GOAT of soccer / football, in 2012 he broke the European record, scoring 68 goals, which is absolutely incredible, insane. If only it was 69. But yeah, he ended up getting 68 goals in that year. It just shows how dominant he was in that year. And the last thing that happened today was that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao fought 9 years ago in 2015, and Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao. If only they weren't old. I feel like when both were in their prime, or at least earlier 30s or at least early 30s, late 20s. If only they would have fought then. But I feel like Floyd kind of ducked it a little bit to keep his perfect record, because he is 50-0. But that's neither here nor there. Floyd Mayweather is the best defensive boxer of all time. But yeah, those 3 events happened this day in history. That is all for today. I will be recapping Philly, the playoff games, for the next episode, and those MLB games at the very top. I have it next week as far as the baseball, which baseball team we're going to cover. It's going to be Detroit and St. Louis, because those are my 2 teams that, or at least for Colt to see if he's playing, and Detroit and St. Louis, because that's my team. Unfortunately, we suck, but that's whatever. And then most likely we're just going to pick a team at random, and I'll put in a community post this time to at least let everybody know what team I am going to be covering, and hopefully this fly is not around anymore. But yeah, this is it. Hope everybody has a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.